Hello everyone, I welcome you all to another short session on a very important aspect of dentistry, especially in today's time, the use of rubber dam. Now, I really appreciate all of you who have commented and liked the post where I asked whether you all need any help with rubber dam in your daily dental practice. And one of the things I realized is many of us are having difficulties while placing rubber dam, while understanding the different components that the rubber dam system involves. I am Dr. Rohit Khatawkar, the admin of Endo Haveli, and today I will be sharing with you some of the basic components and tips and techniques with which you can place rubber dam effectively in your dental practice. Now this video is especially for beginners because I know many of them contacted me and told me that the last time they saw a rubber dam kit was when they were appearing for spot vivas in their final year during BDS. Okay. Unfortunately, many of us undervalue this very important aspect of dentistry, and today it is very important for us to not just learn how to use rubber dams but also use them effectively in our clinical practice. One of the reasons why we need to use rubber dam is because we have to avoid this infected aerosol in our clinical operatory. Now, what do I mean by an infected aerosol? An infected aerosol means any of the aerosols which are mixed with blood or saliva from the patient's oral cavity and are present in our operatory at all times during the procedure. So the only way we can avoid this is by isolating the tooth completely from the rest of the oral cavity by use of a rubber dam. So let's get into the details of how the rubber dam has to be used and what are the different components that make up a proper rubber dam system. This is going to be a two-part series. The part 1 will be focusing on tips for you to choose and buy your rubber dam armamentarium, and the part 2 will be focusing on basic rubber dam placement and application techniques. For the sake of convenience, I will be talking about this particular rubber dam kit from Century. Similar rubber dam kits are available from various manufacturers such as Coltene, Hygienic, KSK, Dentec, or from GDC. Most of them have same or similar components. So let's have a look at the Century rubber dam kit components. This is the rubber dam punch, which is used to create the appropriate size holes for placing the rubber dam on the teeth. As you can see on the anvil over here, there are multiple holes which represent the various diameters of various teeth. As we know from the size of our teeth in the oral cavity, the smallest ones are for the smallest teeth, that's the lower incisors. As you move ahead to the larger diameter holes, they move from the upper anteriors to premolars, to maxillary premolars, to mandibular and maxillary molars. So the last two holes are the ones which are meant for the maxillary or mandibular molars. The middle ones are meant for maxillary or mandibular premolars, and the smaller ones or the smallest ones are for the maxillary anteriors or the mandibular anterior teeth. The mechanism of the rubber dam punch is fairly simple. There is a hinge in the center over here which helps us move this pin up and down and press against the different holes on the anvil. So typically we will first choose the diameter of the hole and place a rubber dam sheet under this, after which we'll be pressing down completely so that a small circular punch will be created by the rubber dam punch. So the next component is a rubber dam forceps. These forceps are used to hold the clamps and introduce them inside the oral cavity, and at the same time hold the clamps and open them up to remove them out of the oral cavity. So there is a spring over here right next to the hinge which opens and closes the beaks of the forceps, and also a small clip here which helps us engage the forceps at a particular size or a specific opening position. The next component of the rubber dam kit is the rubber dam sheets. Now these sheets are usually available as a standard size of 6 by 6 inches, and in a box normally you would get about 36 sheets. Usually the box will also have this clearly mentioned whether it's a plain or a sintered sheet, or the thickness of the sheet, that is either thin, medium or heavy. The boxes also come with a rubber dam template, which gives us an approximate area of the position of the different holes or markings where you would punch a hole. Now when we talk about the rubber dam sheets, there are two sides on every rubber dam sheet. There will be a dull surface and a shiny surface on each and every rubber dam sheet. So just by folding the sheet onto itself, it's easy to identify the shiny surface versus the dull surface. Same way over here, the shiny surface versus the dull surface. What we need to remember is to have the dull surface facing the operator and have the shiny surface facing the patient or the oral cavity. With regards to the thickness of the rubber dam sheet, you have one of three choices: thin, medium as well as heavy. Okay. My personal choice would be either to go for a medium or a heavy gauge only. Don't go for the thin gauge because they tend to tear very easily. Okay. If you are a beginner and just starting with your rubber dam practice, go for a heavy gauge because it's easier to punch, easier to handle, and there are very less chances that a heavy gauge sheet can tear. Okay. This will give you more confidence while using your rubber dam, because if you start working with a rubber dam and immediately in your first or second case you realize, well, just while placing it the sheets keep tearing, it's a bit of an embarrassment for you in front of the patient, and you will gain more confidence as you start using heavy gauge, and you will eventually be able to use medium gauge also. So over the years of my clinical practice, I've got an opportunity to try different rubber dam sheet brands, and some of the ones that I personally like and use are the ones from Sanctuary, Hygienic, from M-Care and from Nictone. Okay, so you can use either the medium or heavy gauge brands in this. Usually I prefer to use the medium in Nictone, and the rest of them I would use either a medium or a heavy gauge brand. So now that I'm starting off with rubber dam, how many sheets should I buy? My sincere advice is to buy the least number of boxes that you can at the moment. Okay, you can always try out different brands as per your comfort level. At this time you just buy one box of a particular brand. Okay, if you see or come across offers like 1+1, or you have better deal on bulk purchase, I would suggest you buy it with your friends and not have boxes of 10 and 20 sheets stocked with you. The reason is very simple. Here I have two different brands of rubber dam sheets with me. Both of them seem pretty much the same and they are all of good quality. The only difference is that this one has been stocked in my clinical operatory since a long time, and this is taken from a fresh box of rubber dam sheets. Now let's see what happens when I crush both of these rubber dam sheets. Okay, you see what happened to the sheet over here? This is perfectly fine and this has become into a fine mess. Okay, so these kind of sheets cannot be used, but you can definitely use this sheet. Okay, this is the reason why you shouldn't buy the sheets in bulk if you don't know how much you will be consuming right at the beginning. So this is one of the areas where most of the confusion regarding the rubber dams start. Okay, when we talk about the rubber dam clamps, there are so many different options to choose from. Okay, so which ones will you choose, and how can you make a short and precise kit which will serve most of your procedures? The rubber dam clamp numbering system is quite universal. So a 201 clamp of one brand is going to look exactly the same as a 20 brand clamp of another brand, although there might be some minor differences between the manufacturers. So we can have the rubber dam clamps arranged as anterior clamps, premolar clamps, or slightly larger molar clamps, and these are all assorted clamps which can be purchased separately. You also have an option of buying them together as a assorted set in the particular rubber dam kit, where you have clamps specifically for deciduous teeth, for posterior molars, for premolars, and for upper and lower anterior teeth. Most of my cases for my restorative work, I prefer to use a wingless clamp, especially in cases where there are proximal cavities and we need to restore adjacent teeth or proximal surfaces. So I need space for placing a retainer, for placing my pallidum matrix and my pallidum matrix holder, or for placing a wedge. So I don't want that additional assembly all around the rubber dam clamp, such as these wings and extensions. For my endodontic purpose, when I'm isolating a single tooth, a wing clamp is better because it pushes the rubber dam sheet further away from the tooth and it gives me better visibility so that I can work more comfortably. Okay. We also have a third variety of clamps, which are the ones which I prefer for most of my cases. These are called tiger clamps, and these are actually especially designed for teeth which are badly broken down, but they are my clamps of choice as far as endodontics is concerned, because they give me better stability, and they can be used for regular teeth as well as teeth which are broken down. We also have another type of clamps known as Brinker clamps. So these are especially good when we have cervical cavities or when we have very narrow necks of teeth, like lower premolars or sometimes even lower anterior teeth. So the next component of the rubber dam kit is the rubber dam frame. So this is a very basic metal U frame, and as you can see, these two frames are of different sizes. The smaller one is meant for pediatric patients when you use a smaller size sheet, which is a 5x5 sheet. The larger U frame is meant for adult patients when you use a 6x6 sheet. Most of the frames that you will come across will be like this. Okay. In addition to these metal frames, you can also have another option of having a plastic U frame. Now, the advantage of these frames is that they are fixed, and of course of the plastic frame over the metal frame is that you can take radiographs. But the problem is that the radiographs cannot, or the RVG cannot be placed when it comes to placing them in posterior teeth. Okay, so that is when this frame comes into picture. That is a foldable frame, and this particular frame is my frame of choice, especially when you are doing endodontic treatment. The U frames can be used easily when you are doing restorative work. For endo, this particular frame is the frame of choice because you can actually fold the frame along with the entire rubber dam assembly, use your suction or take a radiograph. Once the radiograph is done, you open this and then continue with your entire endodontic treatment. This foldable frame is from Hager-Worken. The plastic U frame is from Coltine or Hygienic, and the metal frames that you can see here are from Sanctuary. One of the other options that clinicians have, instead of using the entire frame and the sheet assembly, is to have both of them together in one unit like this, where you have a frame, the circular frame, as well as the rubber dam sheet with it. Okay. A similar product is available from Ivoclar called as Optradam. This is available in different sizes. The advantage of this is the fact that it's a little bit convenient. You have two components in one, but it's good if you are using it for multiple tooth isolation or quadrant isolation, so that you can avoid using a rubber dam clamp. But many a times we need at least one clamp for better retention of the entire assembly. So we cannot do away with the rubber dam kit if we are using these ready-made assemblies. We still need to use the entire set of clamps, or at least one clamp as and where it is required. The three additional accessories that I would recommend you to add to your rubber dam kit are a waxed floss, a wedget, and a liquid dam. Okay, so we will talk about these in more detail when we discuss about the placement techniques. The liquid dam is especially helpful for beginners because you will frequently have small nicks and tears while you are placing the rubber dam sheet right at the beginning. So the liquid dam helps us seal these small areas where you can have area of potential leakage. Apart from this, the wedget is a useful tool when we are doing multiple tooth isolation and you don't want to use a rubber dam clamp. The floss is a very essential part of the rubber dam assembly, which is needed in almost each and every small step while rubber dam placement.